What is going on, everyone? Let's talk Sixers basketball. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't adjusted yet. Mentally, because here I am talking about exit meetings, the general manager quotes, what's going to happen in the future. I want to be talking about plays. I want to be talking about execution. I want to be dancing to the Sixers win song after a big-time playoff W. But this is reality. And I am hurt. There's no denying it. I'm hurt. I want to be sitting there watching the Western Conference Finals start tonight and be thinking to myself, who are the Sixers going to play after they beat the Bucks this round? But that's not how it's going to play out. So, in reality here, let's dive into what we're going to be discussing today, and it is the press conference with Brett Brown, Josh Harris, and Elton Brand. And they had some interesting things to say today, and one of the big things was, just a big storyline in general, was Brett Brown. And not the fact that he's coming back, but the fact that there has been a huge quote out there which states that Brett's job was never in jeopardy. Never in jeopardy, huh? And Brett Brown and upper management were always on the same page with that. Now, that's interesting. You can believe that, or you can look the other way and say, okay, hold on. It's May 14th. Now we know that, but we know that understanding how the Sixers were actually knocked out of the playoffs. We know now that Kawhi Leonard took a jump shot that went over a 7'2" center, hit the rim 4 times and bounced in. We know that now. And it's easy to say, well, yeah, his job was always safe after you know the circumstance. But if we lost in 4 games, is that the same thing? Is Josh Harris just somewhat saving a connection with Brett Brown by saying he was always on the same page? Now listen, Brett is up there talking to everyone saying, I've known for a while now, before the Toronto series, I've known that I was coming back. So, I mean, listen, if he's saying it and you believe it, then sure. I just don't know if we were actually swept in the second round, if he was really coming back. And that's just my thought process on it. But one of the quotes out of Brett Brown that I thought was pretty funny was, this is my 6th year in Philadelphia. I've been fired in every single one of those years, and it'll happen again next year. I just thought that was so funny, and I mean, listen, he understands. He's been a part of the business for how long now? He's been a coach for how long now? In a market like Philadelphia, he's been hearing that he is going to get fired for so long, so at some point, you just don't look anymore, and that's what happens when you get to that level of coaching, and I just thought that was funny. But all around, just his passion about the culture, the passion about what the team was when he got there to where it is now, and talking about how this is a destination for players. People want to come here now, and we've won 50-plus games in the last 2 seasons, and we've been getting to the second round of playoffs, and we lose in Game 7 in a ridiculous fashion, and he sees where this organization has come from when he started, and just, I'm telling you, the passion with Brett Brown when it comes to his players, when it comes to the game, when it comes to his relationships and culture, you can really see it when he speaks to the media, and that was one big thing, was Brett Brown just as a whole, and the way he brings himself to the table. I personally love the passion. Here's one other thing that was huge, and it's the pending free agents. Not just who we had last year, and when I say last year, I'm referencing the season that just occurred, so Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, JJ Redick. I'm not just referencing them, but just as a whole, right? Something you love to hear as a fan base, not afraid to go over the luxury tax. That's not every organization. You have a bunch of organizations out there where the owners are set literally on, let's just make all the money. Now, obviously, that is part of it, and there is a huge business side. But when you have an organization that is willing to go over the luxury tax to win championships and to bring talent in, that is huge. And I just love the fact that we're sitting here knowing that it's a possibility that we go over the luxury tax, but we are being supported by that. Our management, our owners support that. They want to win just as bad as this damn fan base, and they are willing to spend money to do that. I don't know. I can't sit here and say that Jimmy Butler's coming back. I can't sit here and tell you that Tobias Harris is coming back. But I think that this organization values those two players when they made the trade and would like to keep both of them. Are there other free agents that are out there? Absolutely. And I can't sit here and tell you right now on May 14th, well, this is going to happen, that guy's going to come here, this is an option. Like, I mean, I can tell you that this is an option, but I can't sit here and tell you that this is what's going to happen and here's our team. So I'm just going to stick away from that right now at this very moment. But what I do know is I trust Elton Brand. I really do. I think Elton Brand is going to do something very interesting. He has shown us balls. I sit here and say, in the back of my mind, is he going to make some sort of big splash? Is he going to bring in someone that we would have never expected? Is he going to create a roster where we're thinking, oh yeah, let's go, because we can make something happen with it? I'm telling you, I trust Elton Brand. If there's anything that he has shown you so far this past season is he can make things happen. He can call the phones and make sure that there's some noise there. So let's just keep an eye on Elton Brand, and see what he does. But knowing that the ownership is okay with going over the luxury tax, it's actually monstrous for building a championship type roster. Moving on to the Ben Simmons discussion. He is still going to be working with his brother on his jump shot. There are a ton of fans unhappy with that because what have we seen so far? He's been working with his brother for quite some time, and the counter argument was, we can't, as an organization, tell Ben Simmons what to do on his free time. If he wants to work with his brother, he works with his brother. We can't say, no, you can't. This is your off season. You can work out with who you want to work out with. That's reality. And I get that side. I absolutely do. It doesn't bother me that he's working with his brother, to be completely honest with you. But I will say this. He needs to have something more. I still can't sit here and say, Ben, I expect you to knock down 4 threes a game, and I expect you to knock down jumpers consistently. I need to see a willingness. I know it doesn't happen overnight. I need to see a willingness, an actual jump shot. Taking jump shots in games. Next season is so big for Ben Simmons and for his development. We need to see him dribble the ball up, stop, plant his feet, square up to the basket, whether his elbow is going to go out like this or not, shoot the damn ball and make it look like a legitimate jump shot. We need to see that part of his game. And he was being very douchey, if you will, to the media in his exit meeting when people were asking, well, Brett, or where, I'm sorry, I'm getting all the names all over the place. Well, Ben, what do you think you need to work on in your game? And the media asked that question, the journalist asked that question, thinking that he would respond with, I need to add a jump shot. But no, Ben sticks with, I need to get better at my game. I need to stay aggressive. I got to work on being aggressive. Aggressive to Ben Simmons doesn't mean shoot. It doesn't mean attack the rim either. It just means playing with that mentality where he's going to take over, whether that's dribbling and kicking out, whether that's penetrating, kicking out, whether that's playing hard defense. When you say aggressive to Ben Simmons, it's not just taking it hard to the rack. But these journalists, these media people keep asking questions without just asking the question, Ben, are you going to work on your jump shot? And when someone did eventually bring up jump shot in the question, he gives attitude back. Is Ben Simmons delusional? Or is he just kind of being douchey to the media? You would think he knows he needs to add a jump shot, right? I can't sit here and say he doesn't know he needs to add a jump shot. To me, that would be insane. So I'm just going to say Ben Simmons knows he needs to add that to his game, and it shows. This relates to the Joel Embiid get on the low block conversation. But why do you think they could bring the double team so easily? Because Ben Simmons is not a threat when it comes to shooting the damn basketball. So it all relates to each other. It really does. So let's see what Ben Simmons adds to the table when it comes to next year with development. And lastly, we have Joel Embiid and his offseason when it comes to taking care of his body. Elton Brand said he had no clue about the Chick-fil-A story. He had no clue about it. He's seen Joel Embiid eating salmon. Okay, all right. One thing they did mention, though, was his load management for the future. His load management. So, what, maybe only 65 regular season games? Limit the minutes? Early in this past season, we played Joel Embiid for a long stretch without a break. Well, did that come back to bite us? He wasn't that healthy in the postseason. So let's keep an eye on Joel Embiid and see what happens with him. Let me know your thoughts down below on these topics here. I want to know your thoughts. It was a very interesting presser today, without a doubt. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.